Jets Ward.
Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward. And I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you guys. But first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here in the Jets Ward. You always make it so much fun, and I enjoy making awesome content for you guys. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan, a fan of another team, or just a casual NFL fan, you're always welcome here. This is a safe space for you. But guys, Week 1 of the NFL is in the books. We had a lot of upsets, a lot of cool plays, a lot of big moments, and I'm excited to give you guys my post-Week 1 power rankings, and just want to go into it. This is from my opinion. This is based on what I saw this past week with these teams, things I liked, things I didn't like, overall team as well, what I think going forward. It's going to change as time goes on. This is based on just my opinion after Week 1. And honestly, the first thing I have to say, number 32, I'm going to go from 32 to 1. 32, and I think everybody will agree, the Miami Dolphins. They looked awful against the Indianapolis Colts, end up losing the game 33-8. They just looked unprepared, badly disciplined. The defense didn't show up. The offense didn't look good. Tua Tagovailoa was awful, threw a couple bad picks, just off all day. Couldn't get a connection with Tyreek or Jalen Waddle, just awful. And they just looked embarrassed. They did not look ready. They looked like they didn't want to be there. They only scored in pity time and everything. It was bad. And I think Dolphins fans were embarrassed. They should have been. The Colts, they let Daniel Jones run all over them and throw all over them. They made the Colts look awesome. And the defense of the Colts is good. The offense, you have Daniel Jones as your head coach. I don't know how good it's going to be. Going from the Giants where they just got rid of him, where he went to the Vikings where he didn't even play. Now he's the starter of the Colts. He made them look, or Daniel Jones looked awesome against this defense. Do they take a step forward? It's Week 1. It's always hard to tell what teams are going to be like in Week 1. The good teams can get upset right away, get beaten by teams that we thought were not going to be great. Dolphins, they were a team that was in a lot of discord all offseason. A lot of things going on. This is not a great start for them. There's conversations of Tyreek getting traded. The Dolphins don't seem like they're interested, but teams have been calling. Are they going to turn it around against New England? I'm not sure, but they need to figure out something because it was a bad Week 1 game to start. Now, getting into number 31, I got the Giants. Similar to the Dolphins, Giants just looked bad. Russell Wilson did not perform well. They only scored 6 points against the Commanders. I get you're playing a division rival, but looking at the Giants this offseason, your offense was supposed to be improved. Your defense was supposed to be improved. None of it looked great. Like, it just was bad. And Dable looked confused. He was outcoached again, which is normal. The offensive line was Russell Wilson was bad. The defense was not great either. And Commanders really did what they wanted with the New York Giants. It just looked awful. So I think, personally, I like Jackson Dart. I think you need to start him sooner rather than later to get a spark in this offense. Malik Neighbors didn't get rolling until later in the game. And I think Jackson Dart would bring some life into it because I think Russell Wilson I think he's finished. I don't think he's got much. His arm strength is not the same. His running ability is not great either. I just think he's done. Jackson Dart, I think, should start sooner rather than later just to see what the Giants can do. But Week 1 was not great for the New York Giants as they fell to the Commanders 21-6. Now, getting into number 30, I got the Carolina Panthers. This was a team that I thought was going to be much better this year. I thought Bryce Young was going to take a big step. I thought the offensive line was going to be good. I thought defense was going to be better. I thought overall the Panthers were going to be a better team than a lot of people thought. And man, was I wrong Week 1. They ended up losing to the Jaguars 26-10, and everything looked bad. The run defense was atrocious. The pass defense was awful. And Jaguars offense really had them in the palm of their hands. the Panthers couldn't do anything. Even on the offense, the only receiver who showed some success was Tet McMillan, and even that, Xavier Legette was a no-show. Hunter Renfrow was a no-show. Tight ends were a no-show. Chuba Hubbard did okay, but not great. And Bryce Young just looked bad. Honestly, he was getting hit a lot. The line didn't do a great job blocking, was throwing bad passes. Overall, Carolina Panthers just did not look good. That's why I have them at rank number 30. But man, it was bad for them. I thought they were going to be much better. Next, getting into number 29, I got the New Orleans Saints. Spencer Rattler didn't look as bad as a lot of people were thought he was. Chris Olave took a big hit again, so you got to worry about concussions with him. Rashid Shaheed looked okay. Alvin Kamara still has it. The defense held its own for the first half, but didn't really do much in the second half. Overall, the Saints, I think, are going to end up as the worst team in the NFL. I just don't think they have a lot of talent there. But for week one, they held their own really against the Cardinals. They lost 20-13, but there were some moments that they could have taken from the Cardinals. They just didn't jump on those opportunities. That's why I have them ranked number 29 at this point. Getting into number 28, I got the Tennessee Titans. And this is an interesting one because that defense for the Titans is scary. They are very, very good. Jeffrey Simmons had a day. Bo Nix did not look good week one. And first half, he looked awful, was making bad decisions, bad picks. And Titans really honestly should have won this game. But Titans, Cam Ward did everything he could. The receivers were bad. Just drop after drop after drop. Even Calvin Ridley had a bad day. And Cam Ward, I think, is going to be very good. He was putting the ball in spots that they had easy catches, and it just didn't work. So Titans, they're going to have a tough task coming home this week in a game. So we'll see if they can turn it around. They're going to be playing the Rams. So can they turn it around and get a nice victory against them at home? We'll see. That defense for the Titans, like I said, is good. But we'll see what happens with the receivers because the drops killed that team on Sunday. So Titans, number 28. Getting into number 27, I got the Cleveland Browns. They pick up an ugly loss against the Cincinnati Bengals in a game the Browns really should have won. They ended up losing 17-16. The defense looked good. Joe Flacco threw 2 bad picks, and Jerry Jeudy had a good game. Quinshon Judkins didn't play because they're trying to get him back. He just recently signed his rookie contract. So they're trying to get him back. Harold Fannin Jr. looked okay. David Njoku looked okay. Overall, the Browns just didn't show a lot. The defense looked good. Offense, there are a lot of tweaks that they need to make. They're going to have a tough task going on the road against Baltimore this week. So they're going to need to fix things fast because Lamar Jackson and that Baltimore offense, or that Baltimore team in general, is coming after these guys off after a tough loss to the Bills, that the game they should have really won. So Ravens are going to be pissed off. They're going to be trying to take out their anger on the Browns. The defense and the offense need to step up this next week for the Cleveland Browns. But right now they're 27. I don't think they're that good of a team at this point. Number 26, I got the New England Patriots. The biggest issue I had with the Patriots was there was a point where they looked like they were going to dominate this game. They looked like they had it. And it was an interesting game because the Raiders ended up winning 20-13. They had Drake May. The Patriots had Drake May throwing a ton. And the problem was the pressure. Max Crosby was in his face all day. They did not run the ball. You got to get Travion Henderson involved. You got to get Ramondre Stevenson involved. You got to get those guys going because that'll open up the pass game for Drake May to succeed. And it really showed, too, the Patriots are still struggling having a number one receiver. Kyle Williams, okay, he's a rookie. I think he can be something. Jalen Polk is hurt. Stephon Diggs coming off a serious injury. Can he bounce back? Overall, the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, it was a rough week one. They need to run the ball more to open up this pass game and have success. Now, they are going to Miami, where they have struggled before. Can they turn it around against the Miami Dolphins team that is reeling at this point, that really needs to fix things? So, do they? They could. I do think that team is too talented as well. The defense also didn't look great. So, I think they can turn it around, but it's going to be a tough task. They got a Dolphins team that is going to be, I think, more aggressive this week coming up. Going into number 25, I got the Cardinals. And honestly, they won against the Saints, but they didn't look impressive. Kyler Murray, I think, needs to utilize his legs more to get outside the pocket and make plays, improvise a little bit more. Marvin Harrison Jr. did okay. Trey McBride did okay, but other than that, not really a lot of good receivers that the Cardinals have, other options. They need to step up. The defense looked after all the moves they made on defense. I know Walter Nolan is a big hurt because they don't have him at this point, drafted defensive tackle. Overall, I just don't think they looked very impressive this week. That's why I have them at number 25 on my power ranking. Going into number 24, I got the Jaguars. Honestly, are the Jaguars good? Or are the Panthers just that bad? I'm going to go with the Panthers are just that bad. I understand Trevor Lawrence is back. Could he be fully healthy? He showed like he was playing pretty well. They got Travis Hunter involved a little bit. Brian Thomas Jr. is a stud. We know that. But that defense, the pass defense especially, was the worst in the NFL last year. And they didn't really change much. Honestly, I don't think that defense is that good anyway. I think they're still going to be bad. They're going to be tested this week coming up. But again, the Jaguars offense, they moved the ball well. Travis Etienne had a big day. Trevor Lawrence was doing good. Overall, that defense is going to need to prove it. I think the Panthers were just not a good matchup against these guys. That defense had a field day. The offense had a field day as well. That Panthers defense, the Panthers team was a mess. So I think the Jaguars, yes, they picked up the win. But honestly, I think they're fakers. I don't think they're going to be that good, honestly. But we can see. Again, it's only week 1. Let's see how they do next week. Going into the next one, though, number 23, I got the Seattle Seahawks. They ended up falling to the 49ers 17-13. That defense looked good. Tariq Woolen did not look good. So he's in jeopardy of not even starting this week for them at cornerback. But the Seahawks, Sam Darnold made boneheaded decisions at the end of the game. When he was pressured, he made bad plays, which cost his team. The offensive line looked okay, not great. The defense stepped up. They looked very good, but the offense really let them down. Sam Darnold made connection with Jackson Smith and Jigba. That relation seems like it's growing up. The run game, they tried to get involved a little earlier. I get you're going against the Niners defense, and Robert Saleh has them playing really well. But you got to make plays. You have the weapons, and your defense was doing everything they could to get you the ball back. Darnold needs to become the Darnold of last year and make those big plays when it counts. Honestly, I don't know if he can. I don't trust that offensive line either. And the defense, I think, is good, but I don't know how good they really are. So right now I have the Seahawks at number 23 and interested to see where they can go later down the road. The next team, number 22, I got the Niners. I really wasn't that impressed with the Niners. I think getting Christian McCaffrey back, I think helped out a lot. He had a decent day. Brock Purdy ends up getting hurt. He might miss a couple of weeks. Not Kelsey. Kittle got hurt. He might end up missing time. Juwan Jennings is hurt again. They're really hurt when it comes to the receivers and their offensive playmakers. The defense looked great, and I think they're going to continue playing great under Robert Saleh. But that offense didn't. Brock Purdy looked good, not great. Honestly, I was just underwhelmed with the Niners. I think they can be better, but for right now, what I saw wasn't too excited about. So right now, even though they won, I have that in rank 22. Now, going into number 21, I got the Detroit Lions. They looked awful. They looked so bad. I get it was a division rival, the Packers, but the Detroit Lions have been successful in Green Bay, beating them multiple times there in recent years. They ended up losing 27-13, and honestly, the reason they scored a touchdown was Isaac Tesla made a really good catch in garbage time. to score some points. But overall, that offense could not get it going. They could not get Jahmyr Gibbs going. Jameson Williams was a no-show. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a no-show. Laporta, that offense was up bad. They were really, really bad. The offensive line was not good. The defense, they're banged up, but did not perform well either. Packers seemed like they just ran all over them, moved the ball up and down. Jordan Love had a great day. The receivers for them had a solid day. Josh Jacobs had a good day for them. Overall, Lions did not look great. And you start to question, is them losing Ben Johnson and AG, two big coaches that they had last year, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, is that going to affect them? Well, in this week, it looked like it did. Now they got a new offensive coordinator in John Morton. We will see what he can do. But for right now, the Lions look bad. I just think they're too talented. I expect them to go up on the power rankings. But for right now, what I saw, it was awful. It was so bad. And I think that they earned the spot at 21 with how they played this past week. Now, getting into number 20, I got the Chicago Bears. They looked good in the first half. Caleb Williams was making some nice throws, getting out of the pocket, using his legs, and they were beating up on the Vikings a good amount of the game. Second half came, and it just fell apart. They didn't get Luther Burden involved. Rome Odunze had a good catch later down the road when it didn't really matter. DJ Moore didn't really get utilized. Swift was okay. The defense did okay in the first half, but not great in the second half. I understand they had some pieces that were injured that they might lose for a couple of weeks, Edwards being a big one that they lost. But honestly, I think the Bears lost this game. I don't think the Vikings won it. I think the Bears ended up just lost it. And Caleb Williams really was a letdown in the second half. Did not look great. Looked confused. Looked scared back there. And honestly, at this point, they did look better than the Lions. We will see as the week goes on because they are playing the Lions in Detroit, which can be a winnable game for the Bears. But overall, Caleb Williams really needs to step up, or he's going to be in jeopardy of losing his job to Tyson Bagent, who a lot of fans really like. So he needs to step up and start making those big plays to lead his team to victories. Because if he doesn't, those Bears fans will turn on him if they haven't turned on him already. So right now, Bears are at number 20. Getting into number 19, I got the Houston Texans. Now, they played the Rams, and it was a very low-scoring game. The Texans have a phenomenal defense. I will not take that away from them. DeMeco Ryans has that defense playing so well every year, year in, year out. And they held the Rams, who have weapons. I know Matt Stafford has been dealing with a back injury, but they have Puka Nacua, they have Devontae Adams, they have Tutu Atwell, they have all of these players, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum as running backs. They have these players. But that was the Rams. The Rams defense held the Texans defense held the Rams offense to only 14 points. And in this NFL, you need to score 20 plus points to win games. In this job, though, Texans end up only scoring 9. CJ Stroud, that offensive line is going to cause him to get hurt. That offensive line the Texans have is awful. So bad. And they traded their best tackle to the Commanders this year, Laramie Tunsil. They haven't really improved on that offensive line. They're going to get CJ Stroud hurt back there because he has no time to throw. And he's got weapons. Nico Collins is back. They got Wiggins. They got Jalen Noel. They got Jaden Higgins. They have all of these players. Dalton Schultz at tight end. They have these players. Nick Chubb as running back. And the offense didn't look good. So we got to see what that offensive line, they got to work on it. They got to improve because if they can, CJ Stroud is going to be good and that offense, the Texans team can be very good. But this past week against the Rams, they did not. That defense came to show up, but that offense just didn't show up at all. That's why I have them at rank number 19. Getting into the next one, I got the Atlanta Falcons. They should have won. Young Hoku missed a kick to tie the game, to send it to overtime. He missed. That's rare for him. He never misses normally. The offense, Michael Penix Jr. was moving the ball. Drake London had a decent game. He might be injured now, so that's something scary. Bijan had an okay day. Algier had an okay day. the team was moving. The Falcons were moving the ball on the Buccaneers, whose defense didn't really show up much, but it just wasn't good enough. They couldn't make the big plays when it counted, and Younghoe Koo missing that kick really, really hurt them. The Falcons' defense, too, they had no pass rush against Baker and that banged-up offensive line. And the defensive backs are supposed to be the strength of the Falcons' defense. It looked like Baker was just – Emeka Egbuka had a day on them, honestly, and just tore them apart. Falcons' defense needs to improve. They need to get a pass rush because the offense can move the ball. The defense has to stop somebody. They need to stop the opposing offense. And if they can't, it's going to be a long year for the Falcons. But right now I have them at 18. I think they're going to turn it around on defense, but we will see. Going into number 17, I got the Vikings. Now, they won. They looked good in the second half, but that first half was bad. J.J. McCarthy did not look good. He looked scared in the backfield, did not make good decisions, threw some bad picks, a bad pick six in the beginning of the game. The defense did okay, but Caleb Williams in the first half was moving the ball on them. Justin Jefferson in the first half was a no-show. That offense in the first half was a no-show. But then they turned it around and showed us the Vikings that they are, that we believe they can be. And J.J. McCarthy looked good. Can we get consistent football all 4 quarters from J.J. McCarthy and that Vikings offense? The jury's still out. I need to see more from J.J. McCarthy. But right now, I trust that defense. I trust Brian Flores with the defense. I need to see more on that offense, and I need to see more from J.J. McCarthy. I need to see he can be consistent all 4 quarters. That's why they're ranked number 17. Getting into number 16, I got the Raiders. The reason I have this one is I think the Patriots just gave the game away to them. The Raiders didn't look good in the run game. Genti had okay runs. He had a touchdown, but honestly, they shut him down, really, in the run game. Jacoby Myers had a great day receiving. Brock Bowers got hurt, but he had a decent day beforehand. The offensive line looked good for the Raiders. I think they're going to be a shocking team this year. I think they can be very good, but it's interesting to see if Geno can be consistent with that offense and if the defense can hold up, because that defense, yes, they held the Patriots to 13 points, but overall, I just don't trust that defense. I think their defensive line is solid, but linebacking core and defensive backs, I do not trust. So the Raiders, week 1, they beat the Patriots. They need to be consistent, especially on defense, and they got to start running the ball more as well. They got to give Genti a chance, because just like the Patriots, who didn't run the ball a lot, the Raiders didn't run the ball a ton either. So that's why I have them at 16. At number 15, I have my New York Jets. And the reason is the Jets offense looked electric with Justin Fields back there. Justin Fields had his best game in his career. He was effective. He read the pocket. He maneuvered around the pocket, made solid throws, had a beautiful touchdown throw to Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall had a great day running over 100 yards. Justin Fields had a good day running as well. And when he needed to find a receiver or a tight end, he hit them. He had a perfect or near perfect day against a top-end Steelers defense that is supposed to be legit, elite. The Jets offense made them look silly and ran up and down the field on them. Now, the reason I don't have them any higher, they did lose to the Steelers 34-32. The reason, the defense. That defense, I was not ready for the defense to be that bad. Now, the defensive line, Quinnen Williams got home a couple of times. Jermaine Johnson looked good. Will McDonald had 2 sacks. Linebackers, Quincy Williams had a sack, but he had a boneheaded penalty later in the game as well that cost us on a 3rd down. Jamien Sherwood looked solid all day as well. McCrary Ball looked okay on special teams and okay on defense. The defensive backs, other than Sauce Gardner, looked bad. Brandon Stevens got torched so many times. Tony Adams couldn't tackle or cover anybody. Andre Sisco, it was his first time in the Jets defense and everything. He's been running it all offseason. He didn't look great either. But the biggest worries on that defense were Brandon Stevens and Tony Adams. They were getting picked apart. They need to tighten up, or we need to get AZ Thomas and Malachi Moore in there, because I think the young kids can lock it down better than those two can. And that sucks because Brandon Stevens is a big contract we signed in this offseason, a big 3-year deal. But if he's going to play that bad against a team that, honestly, Sauce Gardner shut down DK Metcalf. When he was on him, he shut him down. If he can't shut down Calvin Austin, who, young player, can be really good, but we don't know what he is yet. If he can't shut him down, and if Tony Adams can't tackle, we're going to be in big issues. And the special teams, Xavier Gipson got cut today, but he cost us as well with the fumbles. The Jets, I love the offense. If they can sustain that, I think they're going to be an electric offensive team. And if they can fix the defense, the Jets are going to be a problem. They have players. The offense looked legit. I believe they're ranked first in the NFL at this point, which is great, which is shocking because it's normally the defense that's playing well. The defense needs to turn it around. Wilkes and AG need to fix that defense, because when they're going up against Buffalo, yes, they are at home again. Buffalo scored over 40 on the Baltimore Ravens. Josh Allen is more electric than Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. The Buffalo offense is more electric than the Pittsburgh offense. It could be a long day for Jets fans if that defense doesn't step up. We can't go into a shootout with the Buffalo Bills to end up, because it'll just be a long day. So Jets need to fix it up on defense. I have them here at 15 because I think they can fix it on defense. I think that offense was electric. If we can get consistency of that, the Jets are going to be a problem this year. So that's why I have them at rank 15. Getting into the next one, I got the Rams. Again, they beat up on the Texans. They beat them 14-9. Matt Stafford was coming back from back injury. We don't know how healthy he is. I think they're going to get it going. I think they're going to involve Puka Nacua more. He's always the go-to guy for Stafford. I think they're going to utilize Devontae Adams more. They're going to get that run game going. The defense was solid, but the offense needs to pick it up, because that offense, if that defense plays the way they did, only giving up 9 points to a Texans offense that can be really good, the Rams should blow people out. I think the Rams are going to be better as the year goes on, but right now I'm worried about Matt Stafford's health to see if he can keep going. That's his biggest thing, his health, which is a concern because he looked very stiff in this past game. I understand the Texans have an elite defense, but when you're that type of quarterback, you should be able to dissect a defense and pick it apart. Matt Stafford is that type of player. He is a Super Bowl champion. He's been in the league for a long time. He's played tougher defenses than the Texans. So I think if he's fully healthy, they could blow out some teams. But they didn't show it this week. So that's why I only have them at rank 14. Getting into number 13, I got the Bengals. Again, they didn't look good. They should have lost to the Browns. The Browns blew it. Joe Burrow did not have a good day. He looked uncomfortable in the pocket. Yes, he threw a touchdown pass, but he didn't get Jamar Chase into the game. T. Higgins. Noah Fant looked good. Mike Gesicki, you didn't really see much of. Running the ball, Chase Brown did okay, not great. The defense of the Bengals is scary. They end up getting a nice pick to seal the deal, but honestly, the Bengals need to score more points, because when they go up against a team that has a better offense, that defense will not be able to hold up. So the Bengals need to really improve next week, because that was not the Bengals that I was expecting. Their offense is electric. They have tons of players. They need to score more points. Joe Burrow needs to step up. I understand the Bengals always start out slow, but against a team like that, against the Browns, I understand their defense is tough. The Bengals, with all their players, should have scored a lot more points than what they did. So right now I have them at 13. I expect them to get higher up as the year goes on, but right now they're number 13. Getting number 12, the Broncos. Bo Nix didn't look great in the first half of that game against the Titans. He was making some boneheaded decisions. The defense is what kept these guys winning. That defense is electric. If they're not the best defense in the league, they're damn close to it, because they got people that can rush you from everywhere. And they made Cam Ward's day tough. They really did. He took some untimely sacks, and when he threw the ball, his receivers didn't help him by dropping it, but he was under duress all day. That offensive line for the Titans did not help out. The Broncos defense is elite and will win them games, but that was a bad game by Bo Nix. He needs to step up. He's got the weapons. He's got running backs. He's got receivers. He's got a tight end. Utilize them. Make better decisions. I think Peyton is going to get him under control and guide him a lot better than what they did in week 1. I think they're going to turn it around. I think this was just week 1. You don't know what you're going to get. It's getting into things. I think Bo Nix is going to be able to turn it around, and Broncos are going to be much better. But right now, from what I saw in week 1, they are my 12th ranked team. Getting into number 11, I got the Chiefs. They ended up losing to the Eagles or Chargers 27-21. Pat Mahomes did what he could. They don't have receivers. Hollywood Brown is not an elite receiver. Xavier Worthy, they're number 1. Travis Kelce took him out, popped his shoulder. So he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Travis Kelce had a touchdown, but again, he was shut down for a majority of the game. Juju Smith-Schuster, that's the receivers they're throwing it to. Isaiah Pacheco didn't have the greatest game either. The offense stuttered. Pat Mahomes made some plays, but they need to step up. The offensive line was a little bit better than what they normally are, but the defense didn't show up either. That defense needs to do a lot better job of getting to the quarterback and being able to cover. You had Trent McDuffie, who had a solid game, but Chris Jones, didn't really see him much in that game. You have a lot of these players, Bolton as well, who you need to step up because Patrick Mahomes will score you the points. The defense needs to shut down teams, and that's going to be a tough task for them this week because they are playing the Eagles at home, thankfully, but it's still going to be a tough game. I think the Chiefs will bounce back, but right now I have them ranked number 11. Getting in number 10, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they get that Aaron Rodgers, that team could be good. That defense wasn't the defense that Mike Tomlin has built. They're a lot better than what they had put on there. Jalen Ramsey, a lot better than what he did. I don't think he's got the same steps that he used to, but that defense is going to be better. That defensive line was shut down by the Jets' offensive line. They only had 1 sack, and that was because of a bad read by Justin Fields. Honestly, they need to get better in the run defense, which I think they will. They need to get better in getting to the quarterback, which I think they will. They're going against the Seahawks, so Sam Darnold, not as quick as Justin Fields. The Steelers' offense can be very, very good. If Calvin Austin can take that next step, if Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith can be what we think they are, and if DK Metcalf can continue to be a monster, that Steelers team can be a problem. It's all banking on Aaron Rodgers, though. Can he be that 4-touchdown guy like he was? Can he dissect the defense really, really quick? The biggest issue with the Steelers as well, that offensive line. The Jets beat the hell out of that offensive line this past week. Aaron Rodgers was under a lot of duress. Yes, he made quick throws and was able to get out of the pocket a little bit, but that offensive line is a concern, especially with Broderick Jones. He got beat up by Will McDonald this past week. They need to fix that offensive line as soon as possible to keep Aaron Rodgers upright, because if they can, that team is going to be a problem. That's why I have them at number 10 at this point. Getting into number 1, Bucks. They don't look great against the Falcons. I thought they were going to blow the Falcons out. They have all these weapons. Mike Evans, Emeka Egbuka, Bucky Irving. They have players there. Baker Mayfield. I think they're going to be much better. They win. They ended up winning thanks to a Young Hoku miss to tie the game to send it to overtime. And when they needed to make a play, they did. They marched down the field, and Emeka Egbuka had the go-ahead touchdown reception. They're going to be much better. I think that defense is going to take a step forward as well. I think they're going to be much better. I like the Bucs, offense and defensive-wise. I think Bowles is going to get them right. I think that offense is going to run through Baker. I think they're going to be much better. But right now, from what I saw, they go to number 9. Getting into number 8, I got the Cowboys. And you're probably thinking, how the hell do you have the Cowboys up here? They didn't look bad. The Eagles' defense, after Jalen Carter got thrown out for spinning on Dak looked really good. He was on target. He was hitting his guys. He was able to move around the pocket using his legs. The running game looked good. Javonte Williams looked solid, had 2 touchdowns. The defense was They were able to hold Jalen Hurts had a day in the first half, but then in the second half, they were able to hold him down a little bit. So if the defense can step up, especially with Jadeveon Clowney visiting them, if he signs, that could be better for the run defense. That Cowboys team looked really good. If they can continue to get the running game going, Dak can continue to play the way he does. I think the Cowboys could have won. They should have won. Really bad drops, untimely drops by CeeDee Lamb, which never happens. He had some untimely drops, ended up costing the game to the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't think they're going to have that issue as time goes on. I'm interested to see. They play the Giants this week, so it's a really good bounce back game for them. So Cowboys, I think, can take that step forward and take out their regression on the New York Giants this next week. So right now, they're my number 8 team. Getting into number 7, I got the Eagles. Man, that defense, when Jalen Carter got thrown out, did not look great. Now, they have some pieces on that team. Nolan Smith, they got Jordan Davis, they got Zach Bond, they got Kenyon Mitchell. Great players. Problem is, Dory Jackson was getting destroyed at the opposite corner. That team, Cooper DeJean, was trying to play nickel and safety and all that. I think you might need to have him as your second cornerback and then try to figure something out for safety, because that Eagles defense did not look great. Dallas was having their way with them, and just because of untimely drops by CeeDee Lamb and a bad fumble by Miles Sanders, the Cowboys should have had this game. Eagles really need to step up on offense. I think the offense is okay. They're going to take a step forward. They need to get A.J. Brown utilized. They need to get Devontae Smith utilized. Dallas Goedert looked good. Jahan Dotson looked good. Get your 2 big guys in there. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown should be utilized a lot more than what they were in this game. And I think they will get utilized more. Saquon's going to be a monster like he always is. They just got Tank Bigsby from the Jaguars as well as a backup running back, which is going to be solid for them. Defense needs to step up. Luckily for them, Clark did not get suspended, so that's a good thing. They just signed Zadarius Smith as well, so their defense, I think, is going to get better. Going to be an interesting fight, though. They're going against the Chiefs this next week in Kansas City. Super Bowl rematch. Going to be very interesting to see. Their defense is going to need to step up against Pat Mahomes. So right now, Eagles number 7. Number 6, I have the Commanders. They beat up on the Giants. Giants, bad. They're just bad. Jaden Daniels didn't look like the Jaden Daniels we know. He made some bad decisions and stuff like that. Still looked solid. Deebo Samuel looked good. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt looked awesome. He looks like he's going to be their number 1 running back. Terry McLaurin looked good. Zach Ertz looked awesome, like the number 1 choice for receiver for Jaden Daniels. I think the Commanders are going to be much better. The defense played solid. Let's see if they can keep it going. Overall, they got a big test this coming week against the Packers. So let's see what that defense can do against them. Right now, I have the Commanders at 6, though. Solid spot for them. I think they definitely could go up or down as the year goes on. Number 5, I got the Colts. And you're probably going to think, Ryan, how do you have the Colts? They destroyed the Dolphins. And I understand the Dolphins' defense is not great, but the Colts have Daniel Jones. Nobody expected that offense to be great under Daniel Jones. And Pittman got the ball. He was having a field day. Alex Pierce had a good day. Jonathan Taylor had a monster day. The offensive line looked solid. The defense looked great. The offense couldn't do anything, offense or defensive-wise. Colts looked good. Are they going to keep it up? I don't trust Daniel Jones. Right now I have him at 5, but they could definitely be in the mid-20s or teens. I think that defense is going to keep them afloat. But if Daniel Jones doesn't play the way he did this past weekend, it could be a rough season for these Colts. But again, I think they're in the weakest division in the league. So they have a good chance of winning that division as well if they can do what they did this past week. Now, are they pretenders or are they legit? I honestly think they're pretenders because I don't trust Daniel Jones. They have the weapons, but honestly, the quarterback is the biggest thing, and I can't trust Daniel Jones after what I've seen the past couple of years with the Giants. And we will see where it goes from there. But right now, the Colts are number 5. Getting into number 4, I have the Chargers. I like the Chargers a lot. Justin Herbert looked awesome. He looked really, really good. The defense looked awesome as well. The run game, they need to start working on the run game. They need to get O'Myron Hampton involved more. I know he had a boneheaded mistake earlier in the game, but Harbaugh focused. He took the blame for that one. Najee Harris needs to get more involved as well. I love how they utilize Tyler Conklin in the tight end spot. I think he's going to be a really good tight end in that offense. The receivers, Keenan Allen was getting involved. Trey Harris was getting involved. All of these guys getting involved. Ladd McConkey, they have the weapons. I think they started out slow. I think they always need to just start out quick, because if they don't, that offense might sputter. If they do that, it could be a long day for the Chargers. But right now, they looked awesome in the first week against the Chiefs. Right now, number 4 for the Chargers. Number 3, I have the Baltimore Ravens. They looked great all the way up until the last couple minutes of the game. Untimely fumble by Derrick Henry. That never happens. Going 3 and out on offense, not moving the ball when they were running up and down the field on the Bills all day, throwing up and down the field all day on the Bills. I think they took the foot off the pedal. I really did. The defense did not show up. They were bad. Josh Allen had a field day with that defense. Look, you see the score 41-40. Ravens should have had this. They were up multiple points. They were winning the whole game. And then they let Josh Allen have time, make mistakes, bad turnovers. Bill stole it from them. I think the Ravens, they're going to be angry. They're going to want revenge. Jerry Jeudy came out today and even said that, asking about the Ravens secondary, he was asked a question about the Ravens secondary, about the challenges. He said there is no challenges. I think that's going to leave a mark on the safeties and cornerbacks of the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to sting for the Baltimore defense. They're at home. They need to step up, because that offense can score you points. It's going to be like the Bengals of last year. The Bengals will score 40 points and lose 45-40 because their defense can't stop anybody. The Baltimore defense needs to step up, because that offense will score you points. The defense needs to be able to stop somebody. But right now, I love the Baltimore team. I understand they lost, but they lost to a great team. And I think they're going to be a lot better as the season goes on. They're going to fix a lot of things on that defense. But getting into number 2, I got the Bills. Bills did not look great through the defense, especially. Did not look great until the last couple minutes of that game. They got lucky with the fumble. They got lucky with a pass that bounced off one receiver, and Keon Coleman caught it in the end zone. They got lucky. They had their breaks, but they utilized them, and good for them. That offense is going to be scary that the Bills have. They have a lot of weapons. Josh Allen is a monster. James Cook is a monster. The defense is a big concern. Ravens ran up and down the field on them, threw up and down the field on them. They need to make some quick changes to that defense, because, yes, they have the New York Jets coming in. The Jets scored 30-plus points this past weekend, and the offense looked legit. And what did they do? They ran the ball. Very similar to the Ravens, who have a running quarterback, just like the Jets and Justin Fields, and a solid running back, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall for the Jets, and some solid receivers, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers. I think Garrett's much better than Zay Flowers, but just to show you, the Bills are going to be in for another one against the New York Jets because of that offense that we have. If the defense can stop the Jets' offense, the Bills should have an easy day against my New York Jets, especially if the Jets' defense doesn't show up. But right now, I just think the Bills are an amazing team. I think they're solid. I hate to say it because they're in my division, but right now I have them ranked number 2 and leading the last team, number 1, the Green Bay Packers. They look like the best team. They looked the best coached. They looked like they were just fluent, had everything going, running game, passing game, defense. Micah Parsons looked great in that defense for Green Bay. They romped the Lions. It wasn't even close. They destroyed them and proved a point that they're the dominant ones in that division. Packers looked like the best team. Jordan Love looked consistent, looked concise, looked great. He got Reed involved. He got Golden involved. He got Romeo Doubs involved. Josh Jacobs had a day. That defense, awesome. Packers looked like the best overall team. They're well coached, defense coached well, offense coached well. Overall, just a very, very good team. And that's why I have them as my number one power rank team in the league at this point. So, guys, let me know what you think. Those are my power rankings of the post week 1 matchups. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I got some things wrong, let me know down in the comments. If you want to have a conversation about them, leave a comment. I would be happy to respond to you. And again, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for any notifications of when I post more videos. And again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.